Reconnect, damn it. Now I'm live. Hello, it is me, Mr. Rena Star, and I'm back with another blog. I've had a very busy afternoon today out in town. It was a really nice day, actually. Not too many people, not too hot in good old London town. So, yeah, I just went to the theatre to catch a play. A good play, may I say. It was quite good. And I went online and I'm seeing this beef between this up and coming YouTube personality who has her own show called Zeze Millz with a Z at the end, and her addressing a very, very honest topic of the lack of dark skinned women in British grime music. Now, as we know that British grime music is taking over the world, taking over the UK, these young men, are role models for a lot of young people in the UK, and they are sort of now in charge of modern music, image, and all that. So, with their image, we know that part of their identity is colorism and being very, very anti black women. And we're seeing a lot of colorism against dark skinned women because of the grime scene blowing up and being featured in mainstream media. So Zeze Millz was absolutely correct in mentioning colorism and the lack of dark-skinned women in these grime stars videos, because let's be honest, they put every other race but dark-skinned women, or you know any other race but any women that actually resemble these grime stars. She made a very honest observation, and the grime collective of male British singers up and down the country were sending threatening messages to her on YouTube, using their old school ghetto yardie style gang threatening, on a girl. That's just sick. So there was an artist by the name of Chipmunks, who felt that he needed a badge of honor, a trophy for featuring one very, very, very light brown skinned girl on the video in front of, a sea of every other race but dark skinned black women. And he was saying how she was a hater and she should stop causing problems. Like, he seemed really annoyed that she addressed it, because him standing there with a bunch of women kneeling and just looked ridiculous and so sexist. And because grime music is finally reaching such high, I don't know, like it's really blowing up. They need to have some sort of responsibility for what they're doing, and then to turn around and attack Zeze Miller like that, somebody of your own damn race, you know, attacking her, threatening her, using old school 1998 gang style, come for her, my man, come for her kind of thing. So disgusting and really disappointing as black British men for them to do something like that, and all the other black British men that are in their little music industry tweeting about her being bitter, basically, and complaining about nothing, and how she's just hating on the white women and the mixed race women that are featured in these videos. It's just so shocking. Just shows the state of the black community in the UK. It's disgraceful, absolutely disgraceful. And yeah, just have a look at it. I'll put a link on it on what happened. But Zeze Miller then went back on her YouTube channel and discussed the threat, how childish it is, and it was uncalled for. She did not. He took it so personally, and he was all attacking her, and they used like shaming tactics as, oh, you're not even coming up, you don't have that much influence. Like, they're valuing her on how famous she is and how many likes she has and all that. But the reason why she's not out there and not in full view is because she's a black woman. We live in a racist white supremacy world. What part of that don't you get in your thick head? And there you are saying, oh, because she hasn't got much views, that's all she has to use, drag my name so she can get views. And one of the other idiotic male grime rapper, look, you know what, I'm not even challenging. Their music is good, I listen to it, but they're not the smartest people. They're not the most wokest people, let's be honest. They're just not. And so their response was really shocking. One of them was saying, I don't see colour. When I see black girl and white girl, black girls like me. Like, how do you know? One of them replied, I think his name's Gigs. He's like, I know black women like me. Like, he's just so sure of himself that they like him. Who likes you? We like your music, but you're ignorant as fuck. Honestly, you're ignorant. Like, seriously. You know, what planet are you on? Are you even listening to yourself about black women like me? Oh, I don't see colour, or, white or black. At the end of the day, they're girls. I'll go for anything. Just shows how weak you are, literally. And they're just so embarrassing. And the thing is, at the end of the day, they're musicians. They're not supposed to be bright people. You know, they're entertainers. They're there to entertain you. But the response was just shocking. Like a full Yardie style threat from Chipmunk for this poor girl, Zeze Millz, was just uncalled for. Like, what the hell? She's not your enemy. Okay, she pointed something very, very, very obvious in the sea of, pale women all sat in there with their asses out. There was one slightly brown girl that in the back, way, way in the back, How the hell is she going to stand out in the sea of all those other girls? So why is he going mad? There was one black girl in there. I don't know what she's talking about. She's a, you know what I mean? Your opinion doesn't mean anything. And it was just so aggressive. And I think the world needs to know what these people are like what these black men in the UK are. They're absolutely disgusting, quite shocking. And this full aggressive threat to a YouTube personality in the fact that you're a musician with a record label and everything, and you're responsible for all these young people buying your damn records. No wonder why there's so much colorism in the UK. No wonder why black girls are harming themselves, because of idiotic men like them. Why do they have to open their goddamn mouth? Can't they just shut up? It doesn't help the fact that they're playing music, with the most colorist lyrics about, light skin, beautiful body. You're not helping. Like, they're literally perpetrating colorism and encouraging racism in the communities, and also other nationalities to join in. And because I saw comments from people who are Asian, people with names like Ahmed, Azed, whatever their names are, saying, yeah, she's just bitter, to be honest. She's just jealous that she didn't get any promo. She's just, now all the other races are joining in because of these idiotic black British men that are promoting colorism and racism amongst their own damn women. These people hate their mothers. Like, it's just, the self-hate is just shocking. Absolutely shocking. The fact that he fully threatened her. If you go on her video where she talks about it, it's at the beginning, when he's driving and he's saying how, don't come for me, blah, blah, blah. You can't say that, your opinion means nothing. There is one black girl there. If you can't see, blah, blah, blah. She's there in the background. You can't even say that. Like, really? He wanted a flag, and he basically, black women should be really happy about that girl with a weave somewhere in the sunlight that, there's so much sun on her. She literally looks mixed race. Nobody can tell, in the sea of all those people that look like Amber Rose and every other nation from the world. So yeah, there's so much self-hate going on with these black male artists. I believe in art and freedom of expression. Honestly, I don't like it being tampered, because I'm all for art. But when they open their mouth, the ignoramus mindset of theirs, then it's like, oh dear, did you have to speak? And the fact that they all like ganged up and had their little promoters and these women that they sleep with regularly at these clubs promoting them, defending them. Just shocking, really. And I just think that, black women should really, they shouldn't stay silent in this topic. They should speak up a lot more with this toxic patriarchy affecting black British men in this country, because something needs to be done, because they cannot go back to the continent of Africa with that attitude. They need to be disinfected. They need to go to like a car wash and disinfect and wash their brains from this polluting white supremacy that's affected them. They can't leaders in Africa. I'm sorry, but they're going to have to perish, because toxic patriarchy has literally ruined them. They've ruined them for their community. They've ruined them to be partners, because who is going to marry someone like that who has a potential of striking and becoming violent? I don't think any woman will, to be honest. And if any woman literally finds that attractive, she needs help, she needs counseling. You know, they may have sucked up to it and feel very, very privileged that somehow they hate their own race and they choose these other races, so they, that may have gotten to their heads. But after a couple of time, it will really wear off when they show their ugly side, which is their violent side, because patriarchy has given them that ego that they can act like King Kong. And to be honest, King Kong sometimes, King Kong, you know, the big massive gorilla that goes around, you know, running around New York City acting like, even he has like a heart, he treats women with respect. But these men are literally being, you know, told to behave like a horrible version of King Kong, and especially on their own women, and you know, just insult them and threaten them. You know, no man should do that on this planet. It's just not on. And especially from people that descend from African tradition, where matriarchy is the natural place, you know, for the black community, respecting of womanhood and motherhood and black motherhood, femaleness. And it's just the fact that they're going against the natural African matriarchal society. It just shows how truly effed up the black community is in the UK. It needs to be, you know, fully, what's the word, deprogrammed and fixed, because you know, we have such a enormous task of reviving Africa and leading Africa, but we cannot let these destroyed, poisoned, contaminated black British men coming into our continent with that mindset. They need to drop the patriarchy out of the window. They need to be cleansed from this toxic male patriarchy. Just because the only woman you can dominate is black women doesn't mean you have to act like an asshole. You know, the world is watching. They're seeing what kind of people you are. The fact that you know, drag black British women on Twitter and on social media without any repercussion, and the fact that you allow other women to insult dark-skinned women who happen to be very, very blessed to have that amazing melanin, which will keep them young forever. You know, I don't see Aretha Franklin looking wrinkly when she passed away. Exactly. No, she looked the same, just a little bit skinnier, that's all. But yeah, things like that is something that you should be proud of, not hating, and not hating yourself or any other woman. So that's my view on that ridiculous attack on this amazing YouTuber, Zeze Millz. I didn't even know she had a YouTube channel until this whole thing trended anyway. So again, that's quite strange, because YouTube should be like referring someone that I would watch like that. But no, they don't want us to watch people like that. So that's probably why she's frustrated. She's not being seen on YouTube, because YouTube is literally silencing black British women. They're not, you know, sharing their videos. They're not putting it up on the, what's the word, list. So it took something as negative as this for her to finally catch the attention of the world, which is a blessing in disguise. But it just shows how, you know, if I'd known more about her, I would have, you know, been watching her videos. But hopefully there'll be more amazing videos from her, and I look forward to watching it. Now I'm going to move on to the next topic, which is all these Western nations dancing for Africa. Yes, there seems to be some Strictly Come Dancing type tournament in Africa at the moment, with all these Western leaders going there doing moves. So there was another one with Theresa May dancing with school children and some soldiers. And it's so funny, because the Africans that I see looking at her, you know, while she does her very, very strange and unique dance moves, they're just looking at her laughing. They find it funny. I mean, you know, Africans are not dumb. They're not going to be falling for, you know, random dance moves, but they're really enjoying it. They're enjoying the groveling of Western nations, leaders coming in and dancing with Africans. So they're laughing. The kids are laughing. The adults are laughing, because the dancing is really, really bad, and they are really entertaining a lot of Africans on social media. They're becoming memes. It's just like, maybe they just feel really free when they're on the continent of Africa. When they land there, they feel so free that they can just dance, you know. And dancing does make you feel free. And maybe she just genuinely does feel free, and so she just literally goes at it like she's on the dance floor. She doesn't care if the cameras are rolling, the swish, swish, swish. Oh no. And one of the dancers was trying to show Theresa May how to dance, and one of the moves involved, what's the word? Shooting the hoop. Yeah, she was doing the shooting the hoop and the digging on the floor. That kind of hilarious. So she was literally trying to pay attention to the dance moves, and, and she did a spin. She did a spin, and like halfway through the dance move, she did a spin, like, woo, like, hey, the Michael Jackson spin, like, oh my God. The ambassador of whatever country it was dying with laughter. He was trying to compose himself, but you could tell he was cackling and humiliated and ashamed of her dance moves, and shocked that what he was witnessing was the leader doing the dance moves. But yeah, he literally was dying of laughter. Not only him, the other African leaders, but yep, she's literally going for dance. I call it dancing for Africa. She's going to different countries, being jet set, going around on her private plane. I don't know if it's a private plane. God knows what it is, but one day she's there, then the other day she's there. Does she even get any sleep? I don't know, but she's going around dancing. And I've also mentioned the French leader just literally hopping around Africa like he's the French James Bond, with his Christian Lacroix suit and his slick hair. And he's also going around Africa acting like he's the next thing since Napoleon Bonaparte. Yeah, he's getting a bit too big for his boots, that one. But then again, French people are really arrogant. I must say, like, lately they are a threat. I can see why the British think they're a threat, because there's so many of them. Like, the French have literally been multiplying. They've had really good family planning laws and childcare. Yeah, they actually give amazing childcare, like free childcare, and women can go back to work. So, having families really did suit French families. And as you can see, that's why there's a huge population in France that have grown. And the English have really been discouraging anything that involves family life, and they've been making women feel guilty about going to work. Companies have been penalizing women for being pregnant. So obviously the birth rate has gone down, and I just feel like there's more French people. So yeah, they are a threat, and they're just, because they're so super duper skinny and healthy, with the food they eat, they're very much into their fresh food. They're just getting really aggressive, and they are a threat. And now they're trying to go into Africa, but the way they're doing it is like with this James Bond wannabe French leader, Macron, with his hair slick and his sharp suits. But he's literally been going to the different countries, putting their soldiers in. Yeah, so there is some sort of power struggle for Africa, and they just need to move, because Africa's a free continent. We don't want this neo-colonialism thing going on, especially doing these dance moves and hopping around Africa, spending one day here, one day there. Like, come on now. We see right through it. They really need to stop that. And as I mentioned, the threat of France being the next superpower, the other day I watched a program about how because of Brexit, I think it was the English fishermen up in the Atlantic Ocean, English Channel, around that region, they got into a fight with the French boats because the I think they were trying to stop. I think the French were trying to stop the English from swimming. No, what happened? No. There's like a quota. So like, basically, once you can't have too many fishing on the on the ocean there, the sea. And the English were trying to prevent too much overfishing from the French side. The French got really angry and started shooting rockets, and then they got their navy, and it's like already they're fighting over food and fish, and it was scallops, and I hate scallops. Who eats that? That's yucky. But the French love it, and English like it as well. But I'm not a fan of that, like that squidgy thing. I think I've had it once. It's really squidgy, and I can't understand it. It's a fish, but yeah, you eat it with egg or something. But yeah, they were fighting over that, and yeah, it just shows how like England and France are really back at it again. And clearly, we're seeing that around the world in the news, basically. And I just thought I'd mention that. So, another thing I'd like to talk about is yeah, just a general geopolitical thing, and the pull, and the what's the word, the scramble over Africa, because that's something that everybody needs to keep an eye on. Who else is going to go and start dancing in Africa? Because that they just seem to think us black and African people are just so easily impressed by little things like dancing. They must think we're so stupid, though. They really must think we're stupid to think that a leader coming in and dancing is going to impress us. We must really think we're just the most feeble-minded people. Is that the only thing that you can offer, dancing? Or maybe they're trying to get like African people's what's the word, trust. Yeah, because it's just so like shady. But yeah, I am Miss Jarena Shooting Star. I have been back. How am I going to stop calling myself Shooting Star? I'm Jarena Star. People, if you want to donate to my channel, feel free. I have a Patreon account, and I will put it on the link below. Thank you.